Magandang tanghali po. Ako po si Eudaimonia.
I'm Rojo Panopio.
I'm Jeremy Reduction.
Vincent
Pangilinan.
And we'll be reporting human flourishing. We are the Group 4. And for the science facts and ideas, the 5 places on Earth you should avoid. So the Death Valley sa USA, it has the highest temperature on planet that reaches 56.7 degrees Celsius. The second one is the Danakil Deserts sa Ethiopia, boiling sulfur and gases, burning heat and raging lava flows. Pangatlo ay yung Mount Washington sa USA. Maximum wind speed is 327 kilometers per hour. The fourth one is the Snake Island sa Brazil. There are 5 snakes per square meter. The fifth one is the Afar Triangle sa Ethiopia then, 2 lakes of lava in the crater of a volcano. For the next science ideas and facts, Mary Sklodowska Curie was unable to enter university because she was a woman. She didn't give up and became the first woman in history to receive a Nobel Prize. She remains the only woman to have ever received 2 awards for work in 2 different branches of science. So I'll be reporting for human flourishing. So for the lesson objectives, we will identify different conceptions of human flourishing, determine the development of the scientific method and validity of science, and critique human flourishing vis-a-vis progress of science and technology to be able to define for themselves and meaning of a good life. So first, what is happiness? So in psychology, happiness is a mental or emotional state of well-being, which can be defined by, among others, or positive or pleasant emotions, ranging from contentment to intense joy. So happiness, ito yung emotion na nararamdaman natin kapag wala tayong problema, pag good mood tayo, o pag pinansin ni crush, kapag walang masyadong assignment, kapag natupad yung wish natin, kapag kumpleto yung pamilya at marami pang iba. So ayon sa psychology, ang happiness ay isang emosyon na nararamdaman ng bawat isa sa atin. So if you are positive and pleasant sa paningin ng iba, they may assume na you are in a good mood or in a happy state of mind, which can lead your emotion from contentment to intense joy. So ayon naman sa behaviorist, happiness is a cocktail of emotions we experience when we do something good. So sa behaviorist, yung happiness daw ay laging nakabuntot sa paggawa natin ng tama o mabuti. Katulad na lang ng pagtulong natin sa matatanda na tumawid sa kalsada o di kaya nakatulong ka sa pulube. Pagkatapos mong makatulong, suddenly you will feel happy, di ba? So behaviorist, ang happiness daw ay emotion kapag nakagawa tayo ng tama o mabuti. Para naman sa neurologist, happiness is the experience of flood of hormones released in the brain as well as a reward for behavior that prolongs a survival. So ito yung pagdali ng hormones natin na papunta sa utak dahilan ng pagsusurvive at paghaba ng buhay. So dito, ito yung more on sa mga pasyente. So yung happiness para sa neurologist is gamot to survive or to fight yung sakit ng isang patient and to prolong life. So is happiness a destination or a journey? So the hedonistic view of well-being is the happiness is the polar opposite of suffering. The presence of happiness indicates the absence of pain. Because of this, hedonists believe that the purpose of life is to maximize happiness, which minimize. So hedonistic means the pleasure of someone for being happy. Ayon daw sa pananaw natin, yung kaligayahan daw ay kabaligtaran ng paghihirap. For example, sa kinuha nating kurso, kung masaya at buwal sa loob natin yung kurso na yon, well, probably hindi ka mahihirapan o mag-aaralan yun, di ba? Ayon sa tao, nakikita natin yung happiness as opposite ng suffering. So yung pakiramdam ng pagiging masaya can actually lessen the pain na nararamdaman natin. For example, nag-break kayo ng boyfriend or girlfriend mo without any reason. Nakipag-break sa'yo yung girlfriend or boyfriend mo without any reason. So syempre you feel pain, you feel sad, pero dahil andyan yung mga friends and family mo na na will comfort you at magta-try na pasayahin ka, then you move on, then it lessen the pain. Ang purpose kung bakit tayo nabubuhay is to maximize happiness, which minimize the misery. So, eudaimonia, a term that combines the Greek words for good and spirit to describe the ideology. Eudaimonia defines happiness as the pursuit of becoming a better person. Eudaimonists do this by challenging themselves intellectually or by engaging in activities that makes them spiritually richer people. Sa galing sa Greek word na good and spirit, defines happiness as the pursuit of becoming a better person. So eudaimonists actually do this challenge themselves. So eudaimonia. Eudaimonia means happiness. Dinescribe to ni Aristotle bilang happiness. So it was a good-spirited, coined by Aristotle, described the pinnacle of happiness that is attainable by humans and human flourishing. So from the Nicomachean ethics, philosophical inquiry into the nature of the good life for a human being. Human flourishing arises as a result of different components such as phronesis, friendship, wealth, and power. In ancient Greek society, they believed that acquiring this will surely bring the seekers happiness, which in effect allows them to partake in the greater notion of what we call good. Doon nga sa una. Hindi. Sige. So, phronesis means the habit of making the right decisions and taking the right actions in context and relentless pursuit of a relentless force of the common good. So, sabi dito, hindi mo daw ma-attain yung happiness kapag wala ka ng apat na to. So, phronesis, friendships, wealth, and power. So, phronesis, yung paggawa mo ng tama o yung paggawa mo ng tama na o kaya yung pag-iisip mo ng mabuti, yung habit mo na paggawa ng tama. Sa hindi mo daw ma-attain yung happiness kapag wala ka dito. So as well as the friendship. 'Di ba kapag marami tayong friends or palakaibigan tayo, we are actually be happy. Sa wealth, siguro naman yung pagiging mayaman, syempre naman sino ba namang hindi magiging masaya kapag mayaman ka. So as well as the power o yung strength mo o yung kalusugan mo. Kapag malusog ka, masaya ka, di ba? So as the time changes, elements that comprises human flourishing change. People found means to live more comfortably, explore more places, develop more products, and make more money. Human of today are expected to become man of the world, supposed to situate himself in a global neighborhood, working side by side among institutions and the government to be able to reach the common goal. So competition as a means of survival has become passe. Coordination is then the new trend. Eastern versus Western conceptions regarding society and human flourishing. So para sa Eastern conceptions, yung mga Eastern conception daw is nagpo-focus sa isang community-centric o yung community-centric o yung may isa kang leader na sinusunod at nag-o-obey, ino-obey nyo. So, individuals should sacrifice himself for the sake of society. So, meron isang tao na kailangan mag-sacrifice para sa ikagaganda o ika-uunlad ng society nyo. Sa Eastern conception, dito pumapasok yung Chinese Confucian system at Japanese Bushido. Encourage studies of literatures, science, and art for a greater cause. So, mas pinapaunlakan nila yung pag-aaral nila ng literature, science, and para sa isang magandang pag-uunlad ng kanilang bansa. So, Western conceptions, more focused on the individual, human flourishing as an end, as Aristotelian view, aims for eudaimonia as the ultimate goal. So, ini-aim yung mga Western conceptions, ini-aim yung eudaimonia as the ultimate goal. So, yung happiness para sa kanila, yun yung pinaka-sukdulan ng pagiging buhay nila o kung bakit sila buhay. So, science.
So I will be discussing science, technology, and human flourishing. Every discovery, innovation, and success contributes to our full and human knowledge. Ang pag-iimbento ng mga kagamitan at pag-discover ng mga bagong bagay sa mundo at pag-unlad daw ng bansa ang dahilan ng ating malikaing kaalaman. Nagbibigay ito ng panibagong teorya patungkol sa buhay ng bawat tao. Woman's perpetual need to locate himself in the world by finding proofs to trace evolution. Ang bawat tao sa mundo ay may isang hangaring o hindi kaya may isang tanong sa kanyang sarili. Ito yung paghahanap ng ebidensya kung saan nagsimula ang mundo. Delegates or idea of self-importance. Technology is a human activity we excel in as a result of achieving science. Sabi ni Hedonism, ang teknolohiya ay isang pag-aaral na isinasagawa ng mga individual, ng mga bawat individual at dahilan ng pag-abot o pagpapalawak sa siyensya. Good is inherently related to the truth. Ang kabutihan ay mga malaking epekto at bahagi sa katotohanan.
So science is method and results. Science stems from objectivity brought upon by right method, great reason and persistence. So in school, the scientific method is introduced in the earlier part of discussions. Even though the number of steps varies, it presents a general idea of how to do science. So ito yung mga steps in scientific method. So first, observe and determine if there are unexplained occurrences unfolding. Pangalawa naman is to determine the problem and identify factors involved. Number 3, through past knowledge of similar instance, formulate hypotheses that could explain the said phenomenon. Ideally, the goal is to reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternative hypothesis for the study to count as significant. Can also be separated into additional steps, such as to generate predictions or to infer from past experiments. Number 4 is to conduct experiment. So by setting up the dependent and independent variables and trying to see how independent ones affect dependent ones. Number 5 is to gather and analyze results throughout and upon culmination of the experiment. Examine if the data gathered are significant enough to conclude results. Number 6 is to formulate conclusions and provide recommendations in case others would want to broaden the study.
Verification theory. A discipline is a science if it can be confirmed or interpreted in the event of an alternative hypothesis being accepted. Premium or empirism takes into account those results which are measurable and experiments which are repeatable.
For the Vienna Circle, meron tayong mga scholars na naniniwala na yung isang statement na na-observe ay should be regarded as meaningful. So, parang ito yung quote na to see is to believe. So, reject those which cannot directly access as meaningless. So, meron ditong story tungkol sa verification theory. So, suppose, for instance, this girl Leia has a theory that her classmate Ian likes her. Good, she thought, I like him too, but how do I know that he likes me? She began by observing him and his interactions with her. Several gestures she noted included his always exchanging pleasantries with her whenever they bump into each other, his big smile when he sees her, and him going out of his way to greet her even when riding jeepney. As it turns out, however, Ian is just generally happy to meet people he knew. He had known Leia since they were in the first year and regards her as a generally okay person. It is not surprising that upon learning that Ian basically does this to everyone, Leia was crushed. She vowed to herself that she would never assume again. Through those observations, she was then able to conclude that Ian does like her because she thought, why would anyone do something like that for a person he doesn't like?
Social endeavor. Several philosophers such as Paul Taggart, Imre Lakatos, Helen Longino, David Dorr, and Richard Rorty, among others. For instance, far off places in South America where many of tribes remains uncontacted. Thus, it presents an alternative notion that goes beyond the boundaries of cold, hard facts of science. Thus, it presents an alternative notion that goes beyond the boundaries of cold, hard facts of science and instead projects it in different lines and results. For more part, people who do not understand science are won over when the discipline is able to produce results. For some communities without access to science, they can turn to divination and superstition and still get the same results. Science is not entirely foolproof such that is correct 100% of the times. Education. Science is the one of the most important subject. Science, education science o agam ang isa sa pinaka-importanteng subject dahil ang siyensa o science education ay isang field of concern sa pag-share ng nilalaman ng siyensa. Learners may be children or students. Ang siyensa ay pwede ituro sa mga bata katulad ng kinder hanggang college students. The traditional subjects included in the standards are physical, life, earth space, and human science. Based on the study in K-12 program, STEM or science, technology, engineering, mathematics is the most popular strand in grade 11 and 12. In short, in senior high school. Standards ng siyensa o agam ay nagbibigay ng expectation para sa development ng mga students na maintindihan ang siyensa sa buong course ng kanilang K-12 education. Kasama sa standards ng traditional subjects na ito ang physical science, earth and life science, human science at iba pa. Sa Pilipinas, Science High School ang makikitang malaking distribution sa buong bansa. Based on the study, sa K-12 program, STEM ang pinaka-popular na strand sa grade 12 at grade 11 at grade 12 dahil sa STEM ang may pinakamalaking at pinakamaraming pag-aaral when it comes to science.
Falsification theory. As long as an ideology is not proven to be false and can best explain a phenomenon over alternative theories, we should accept the said ideology. Allow the emergence of theories otherwise rejected by the purification theory. Encourage researchers in order to determine which among the theories can stand the test of falsification. The concept was introduced by the philosopher of science Karl Popper. He saw the falsifiability as the logical part of the cornerstone of his scientific epistemology, which sets the limits of scientific inquiry. He proposed that statements and theories are not falsifiable and unscientific. Popper used falsification as criterion of demarcation to draw a sharp line between those theories that are scientific and those are unscientific. He also Popper claimed that if a theory is falsifiable, then it is scientific. So, ang pag-aaral daw ni Karl Popper tungkol sa science is nakapokus sa pagiging hindi totoo or hindi napatunayan sa scientific theories. Sabi din niya na ang isang theories daw ay hindi matatawag na scientific kung hindi ito pwedeng i-debate or walang chance na maging hindi ito totoo. In a simple word, ang isang bagay na magiging scientific lamang kung ito ay napag-usapan or napag-aralan.
Ian is generally everybody's friend. She likes to be around people and generally aspires to become everybody's friend. However, there is this one girl, Leia, who seems not like him when he is around. Every time he waves at her, she turns away and when they are in the same room, she avoids his glance. So yun na nga, through this biglang pumasok sa isip ko na hindi mo ako gusto na parang maging kaibigan. Through this, he concluded that Leia does not like him and does his best to show her that he is not a threat. He began greeting her whenever they passed by each other in the corridor, even going so far as calling her attention when he was in the jeepney and saw her walking past. For example, guys, gusto ko na lahat yung tipong masaya sila kapag nasa paligid nila ako. Pero may isang tao na parang hindi niya ako gusto na nasa paligid niya. just like I'm not assisting in her word. When they were able to talk to each other, he found out that Leah is just really shy and is not accustomed to people greeting her. He then was able to conclude that his initial impression of her not liking him is wrong, and thus said proposition is rejected. Until one day na nagkaroon ng chance si Ian at si Leah na magkausap, at doon nalaman ni Ian na sadya pala talagang mahihayin si Leah. At doon pumasok sa isip ni Ian na mali pala yung unang pumasok sa isip niya na hindi siya gusto ni Leah. So this topic, falsification theory, na ang naisip parating sa atin na kahit wala pa namang ebidensya, na naniniwala tayo agad sa unang pumapasok sa isip natin. Just like in the story na akala ni Ian na hindi siya gusto ni Leah, pero yung totoo pala ay mahihain lang si Leah.